Hello again to this video clip series, My Journey to God in a Very Secularized World. This should be video clip number 90. I'm continuing in explaining a little bit that we are very quickly arriving to a chastisement from God. And what I'd like to do also right now is to kind of put it into perspective, which I think is very important for us to do very frequently, to try to see what's going on, even in our daily life, our personal life, from God's point of view instead of our own point of view. It's so easy to get closed in our little our little world, and see it only from our little point of view, which very often is at least tainted with egoism and everything else. It's very important to see it from God's point of view. And fundamentally, isn't that the definition of prayer, to lift our hearts and minds to God? So what I'd like to do is just read a couple of paragraphs from the diary of Saint Faustina regarding what we're talking about here. This is paragraph number 1588. In her diary we read, she says, "Today I heard the words, in the Old Covenant, Jesus said, saying this to her, in the Old Covenant, I sent prophets wielding thunderbolts to my people. Today I am sending you with my mercy to the people of the whole world. I do not want to punish aching mankind, but I desire to heal it, pressing it to my merciful heart. I use punishment when they themselves force me to do so. My hand is reluctant to take hold of the sword of justice. Before the day of justice, I am sending the day of mercy." And St. Faustina says, "I replied, O my Jesus, speak to souls yourself, because my words are insignificant." Because really what Jesus is saying here is that God has tried everything in the world for individual souls and nations to bring them back to God before it's too late, before we face eternity. And then you can't change anything for all eternity. And the last, he says, I use punishment when they themselves force me to. It's like his last what he can last do. Here's another paragraph, in paragraph 1532. "Jesus complained to me of how painful to him is the unfaithfulness of chosen souls, and my heart is even more wounded by their distrust after a fall. It would be less painful if they had not experienced the goodness of my heart. I saw the anger of God hanging heavy over Poland, and now I see that if God were to visit our country with the greatest chastisements, that would still be great mercy, because for such grave transgressions, he could punish us with eternal annihilation. I was paralyzed with fear when the Lord lifted the veil a little for me. Now I see clearly that chosen souls keep the world in existence to fulfill the measure of justice. Chosen souls are those who are more united to Jesus on the cross in his suffering, in his passion, to help the world have the grace to come back to God. In order to destroy the church, it is better. Now I'm going back into the strategy of the Masons and communism to destroy the world so they can become the dictators. In order to destroy the church, this is what was written actually in the International Review of Secret Societies. They wrote that it is better by way of corruption than persecution. And then a few statements taken from this program of the Masons found in this International Review of Secret Societies. In in this review, we find the explanation of what is happening under the eyes of everyone. Their words clear as they are diabolical. And this is quoted from this review. Religion does not fear the point of the dagger, but it can fall under the weight of corruption. Thus, we must not tire of corrupting. Let us make popular vice among the multitudes. It is necessary that they breathe vice with the five senses, that they drink it, that they might be saturated with vice. Make their hearts dissolute, and you will no longer have Catholics. They're guided by Satan. They're guided by Satan. They know how to destroy us. In other words, to destroy the church, it is better by way of corruption than by persecution. Thus, the goal of Freemasonry is rather clear, and from the good sons of Freemasonry, also atheistic communism and savage capitalism have identified corruption as the best way to arrive to their goals. The disappearance of the faith, the elimination of the church, and the enslavement of humanity. Here are a few statements taken from their programs. Number 1, corrupt the youth. Lead them away from a religion. Fix their attention on sex. Let them become superficial. Destroy their idealism. Provoke within every way the collapse of the moral virtues, honesty, and purity. This is from the Manual for the Communists of Florida. Number 2, our job is to promote a wave of pornography and to present it with sympathy as the supreme good of artistic freedom. This is word of order of the Italian Communist Party. Number 3, if we want to destroy a nation, we must first destroy its morals. Then it will fall in our laps as a ripe fruit. Awaken the interest of the youth for sex, and it will be yours. This is quoted from Lenin. Number 4, abrogate all the laws against obscenity. Destroy the sense of morals by diffusing pornography in the books, in the magazines, in the cinema, by way of radio and television. Present the sexual degenerations as normal, natural, favorable to the psychological and hygienic equilibrium. Destroy the family, favoring free unions and divorce. This is from directives given to the communists of the United States. Number 5, when man will become a being that crawls, that grunts, and jumps on the female, and you will continue only to caress his sex and to unleash the beast that is in him, then the pigsty will become a slaughterhouse. The meat that you offer in your illustrated magazines is all the better to be sold, mocked, tortured, killed, and burned. This was from a Frenchman, Jean Cao, a French writer. Number 6, the first conquest to do is the conquest of the woman. She must be liberated from the chains of the church and from the law. To knock down Catholicism, it is necessary to begin with the suppression of the dignity of the woman. We must corrupt her together with the church. Let us spread the practice of nudity. First the arms, then the legs, then all the rest. In the end, people will go around naked, or almost, without even batting an eye. And having taken away modesty, the sense of the sacred will be snuffed out. Morals will be weakened, and the faith will die from suffocation. This is from a document of the Masonic Plan. Number 7, we have associated youth, music, sex, drugs, and revolution with betrayal. It is very difficult to go further. This is Jerry Rubin, American Revolutionary. It's interesting here that Cardinal Ratzinger comments, he says, there is something diabolical in the way in which the market of pornography and of drugs is exploited. It is infernal, a culture that persuades the people that the only goal of life is pleasure and private interests. I end this video clip here. May God bless you and Mary guide you.